What's going on, New Fighting Order? This is your boy Alexlexus, co-executive producer with Nelson Rios of Fighting Game League TSG. This is NMO TSG, New Fighting Order podcast, mini short, because there's going to be a tsunami, a typhoon, a mother nature type wrath coming in the next several days. Now, this is to set up the framework for the podcast, which is ordinarily scheduled for Thursdays, certain Thursdays of the month. But this is a call to arms for Tough Nerd Toys. Hell, if Alpha Omega Sin is available, Mugen Lord, Angry Joe, I just, you know, uh, Black Dragon. I mean, now I feel like I just went like 12 rounds with Mike Tyson and actually kind of held my own, but still took a couple rib shots or like on your knees, like to make fun of Opie and Anthony, shots to the uterus. But, whoo, man, good and bad things. Good and bad things. So, New Fighting Order, I'm on the fence about the Xbox One. I was at work. I saw the conference with my coworker on my laptop, or the busted one, and I was happy for some things and disappointed in others. There's some deal breakers with the new unveil, but man, I didn't even take my notes because it was just first things first. All the rumors, all the hopes for backwards compatibility with the SoC, the set-top box, and all of that just got shitted on. All the speculation, all the leaks of info and whatnot. This is why I've even, told most of the audience and say myself in past podcast shows that don't bet all your cards on something until you have concrete evidence. Now, after the unveiling, they were asking the Microsoft personnel, is it backwards compatible? They said, no, it's not backwards compatible. Why the fuck not? Why? That. Mm, mm. What the fuck? I mean, no backwards compatibility, yet the architectures is supposedly through emulation could make this possible. And I think now going forward, we're gonna have to be careful. Like, even with Sony's approach to the backwards compatibility, there at least it exists to a degree. Even if you have to go and repurchase for at a discount price, like I had to do with my Vita. So you Sony fanboys, Sony has partaken in some shenanigans too. But my PS Vita, there's certain games I already own. I had to download them again and whatever. If you're a diehard, hardcore, or whatever, that's not really gonna matter to you. But there's shenanigans on both sides. But at least Sony is offering this. To me, that's very important because Omega Sin said in one of his videos that, look at in Alpha Omega Sin's videos, you see the wall in his background, libraries of titles that he's collected over the years, and whether it's, backwards compatibility only became important between the PlayStation. Sony did the smartest thing. They were the first to truly introduce it, and and I have to give them credit where it's gonna be there. But I just got Metal Gear Rising, WWE 13, Black Ops 2, all that stuff. So you mean to tell me the games that I'm still playing, I will have to bust out my other system and put it right by that DVR or TiVo looking console so I can go back and forth? What happened to this thing where instant access? I want instant access to my older library. I mean, that's definitely an NFL style fumble, or Sony, did the kickoff, the opening kickoff, or Microsoft did the opening kickoff. Sony caught it and ran it back for a touchdown. Wow, I I don't know what to say about that. And I know the fanboys. And right now, I'm being objective. Although I prefer the Xbox Live server and everything. I'm being objective. That's why I'm giving Sony credit for the good things that they have done with attacking the backwards compatibility side of things. So a lot of you guys who are doing backflips are going to be immature with this. Don't fucking watch the rest of this video, because I'm not here to start a battle. This is just in response to some of the disappointing news for the Xbox One. Now that's going to kind of confuse people by calling it that, because in the community, the Xbox One is referred to the original Xbox. A 720, Xbox 720, or the Xbox Next, or something. They could have been other names, but it's called Xbox One because all in one Xbox One. It means your all in one system, whatever. I mean, meh. Well, moving on. Used games. We were crossing our fingers and hoping to God that they weren't going to do it, but they did it. They pulled a fucking Capcom and did a money grabbing control measure to stick it to GameStop and to stick it to pirates. Now here's the thing. Those of us who were pirating before, and there was a time where, I was unemployed for a year and a half, and, I wanted to play stuff. I did what I had to do. There's no shame in my game. You know what I mean? Times were tough, and Emily and I were still trying to produce for the show. Free advertising showing, hey, go get this shit, go get that stuff, or getting early access to things or whatever. But I don't think pirates were causing such a dent in the wallet of Microsoft, because, again, Michael Hurdle, formerly of Raw Gameplay, now CEO of Salty Gamers, he and I were discussing with Nelson one time that video games make more money than the movie industry. More money than the movie industry. You got movies like Fast 6, Star Trek, Iron Man 3, all this stuff, and video games still pull in 8 times the amount of money that they get. So to put in this counter piracy measure, to put this anti-use game setup where now it has to check every 24 hours or whatnot, I mean, wow. Not cool. Not cool. Bad move, Microsoft. Very bad move. Now, I was talking to Jeffrey, my boy, Fierce from Xbox Live, and more information was circulating about how games, you can have multiple profiles on a console, but in order for the other profile to access that game, there's a fee associated with that. Wow. Why? Why? That is dumb. That is freaking dumb. Why would you do that? So you mean to tell me, me and my sisters, And yeah, I play Dance Central. Fuck you guys. I started getting into Dance Central in Iraq, right? So, just to stay in shape and limber and all that, because all I was doing lifting, getting pumped and shit. So now, if let's say Dance Central 4 comes out, and I install that under my profile, then my sister decides to go and play or try to play my game. Her profile needs a fee associated to unlock that content. Not good. That is really bad. Really, 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 really bad. I don't know why. It's no wonder EA stopped doing online passes. And here's another thing. This is me being devil's advocate. Maybe EA had something to do with this, because if you think about it, if they're providing exclusive content for the Xbox One, so that's so cute. Xbox One, maybe it's their whole little setup, or I think the developers or certain developers were extremely butthurt, and Microsoft caved into that. And I'm telling you, you guys, Demizzle, certain GameStops were running surveys. Should we carry the Xbox at the time, as we referred to it, at 720, if you couldn't get used games for it? A lot of people said no. A lot of people said no. So it's just like, I don't understand the logic behind that. Angry Joe made a good point. Microsoft, well, the 360, whether people want to believe it or not, was leading in this generation. The PlayStation 3 had like 1 million units sold more, only because Microsoft wasn't getting the support in Japan. Now, imagine if the 360 was well received in Japan, the sales would have either been neck and neck, or Microsoft would have been out in front. So let's not mistaken that. So to some of the fanboys out there, that's the truth. Check with the Mizzle. I have 3 people who usually check my information. I wouldn't say R&D, but we do our research. And I'm telling you, if Microsoft had their base in Japan, but anyway, saying that to say this, you got the 360, which was in a very good position towards the end of this console race, and you're gonna blow your advantage. It's almost as if you're the Knicks in versus the Lakers or something, and you're up by 10, and all of a sudden you let these guys come back on you in the fourth quarter and blow everything you worked for. Now this is like Game 7. You know what I mean? And if this is Microsoft's future, if this is how they're going to be going with the rest of their consoles, they're done. I don't care how established they've become. I mean, the Xbox One, better hardware than the PlayStation 2. The first console with a hard drive, a CPU, a computer, a hard drive in it. I mean, what you could have done with that, I mean, that was innovative in itself. Even though most of you guys who don't know, SegaNet, pretty much the relic, the fossils of SegaNet is what fuels Xbox Live. Microsoft just took it and went apeshit with it once they bought it off of Sega. So now they did something so good, and they just fucked everything up. Hold on one second, guys. What's up, Shinwar? Yo, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm actually doing lunchtime TV on here. Yeah, but I'll tell you why I'm here. All right. Yeah, Shinwar is actually checking out something that I uploaded, so I'll give him a call back. But whew, man. They were in the lead. They were in good position, and a lot of us were excited. But all the negative rumors, I wouldn't say all. They screwed up with the backwards compatibility. They're screwing up with this used game lockout anti-piracy method. Fully installing the disk to the a 500 gig hard drive, that shit's going to fill the fuck up. 500 gigs is not that much, and you're talking about Blu-ray disc, which are 25 gigs, and if it's dual layer 50. So what are you doing, Microsoft? I don't understand. I don't. I mean, and just so you know, I'm going on the negative stuff first before I go into the positive, because I don't want to end it on a shitty note. But I think the Xbox One is trying to do too much. I believe what it should have done is you must focus on what made Xbox Xbox, a gaming console. The gaming console that, yeah, gave you a little taste of everything, but to make it the driving force in terms of sticking your media in there, it's almost like you're being spoon fed with a damn shovel. Like, hey, you're gonna take this. This is how we want you to play stuff. They want to completely control your living room experience. And in doing that, it's just, wow. Mm. That's a bad look, Microsoft. I think it's already too late. It's already too late. That's the system. And I swear, those of you who are checking out the new RoboCop that was supposed to come out in August, but now getting pushed back to February 2014, this is a console that looks like it would be hooked up to the fucking new RoboCop. And I should have had pictures prepared for the Wirecast, but that looks like fucking RoboCop's Xbox. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, it's not ugly looking, but it's big. It's reminiscent of the original Xbox. And how much you want to bet? Towards the end of the console cycle, you will see a slimline version of that system. Am I wrong? I'm telling you, you will see it. You will see it. And you know, now moving on to some more positive stuff. Now, again, this is good and it's bad. The system is now offering a whole lot of stuff in terms of, now the friends list is the 100 member cap is going to be lifted. It's unspecified how many people you'll have on your friends list, but it's going to be significantly bigger. Um, you know, your gamer tag, and now you can use your real name in terms in as an alternative to your gamer tag. I don't know if I want my real name out there, and there's a lot of people. Well, my family's pretty large with my last name, and I don't want to. No, no. But I will give them this: Skype was a smart move. Even though on this podcast we used to use Skype to power our podcast, but then they started asking for money or whatever, and it's, you know, we're independent. Most of the stuff comes out of our pocket just to run this. So I'm kind of sketchy on Skype, but that's pretty cool now that you have the instant messaging service. Shinwar and I even were saying at one point that if they can get AOL Instant Messenger, AIM, or Uvu or something on the Xbox, that would be great. So now that's a reality. So that seems pretty cool. I mean, if you're playing like Call of Duty and then you just say, hey, Xbox, Brother Noop, and he's called and I see him on the upper hand corner of the screen and we're chatting or whatever, I mean, that'd be cool. The snap feature and being able to instantly go back and forth between TV, your games, believe it or not, I like it. I think that's a cool integration because, again, I have a lot of stuff where I'm sitting there, okay, hit the HD remote, and hit HDMI 1, HDMI 2, press channel up, one to go to my files, kind of unifying it in harmony is it's not a horrible idea. Don't get me wrong, it's not a horrible idea, but I hope that Microsoft makes it in a way where if you don't want to use all the extra features, you don't have to. It's good that it's there for you to use, but I wouldn't want that forced upon me, because that's when you're gonna get me ranting like some of the other guys are doing. So as long as those are all optional features to use, read my lips. And that's not to be derogatory to those who are afflicted with speech issues. I just want to make that clear. But yeah, if it's forced upon me, I don't know if I'm gonna be delving into it. We'll see. But I'm glad that the TV integration, because we have Verizon Files here where I live, and I guess with the whole setup with using the files on the current Xbox, it feels a bit limited. It's not bad, but I can still watch WWE on there. I can watch Spike TV and all this other stuff. So I mean, that's not a horrible thing. If you can do it like that, fine. But to try and become the ultimate box or ultimate unit for entertainment, that's very ambitious, extremely ambitious. I wish them nothing but success, but there's a couple black eyes when it comes to that. That backwards compatibility issue, the used games thing. They better make sure they confirm by E3 if it's going to be online always, because the cloud, it kind of, well, to me, the way I understand cloud, everything goes to a server and is stored for you. Okay, so we were talking about that. If you don't have reliable internet, if I get deployed again and I don't have reliable internet, that means I cannot use that system. I don't understand. I don't understand. If I'm in the fucking middle of Afghanistan and I have a Snap VSAT somewhere that has shitty internet, I cannot use the system? Make me understand the reason behind that. It doesn't make sense. And then, the messed up thing about it is Adam Orth got fired for telling the truth. He got fired and he didn't resign. Let's be honest, people. It was damage control because Microsoft was going to do it, and he took the bullet for these guys. Let's be real. Let's be motherfucking real. He was telling the truth, but he was being a jackass about it. So fuck you, Adam Moore. I try to give you props, but hey, you got what you deserve, so you're fired anyway. Man, I almost had a loss for words, because I'm telling you, those Sony fanboys are sitting there throwing confetti and they got their disco balls dancing to It's Raining Men. Alright? It's just fucking wow. Fantasy football, NFL partnership seems alright. I'm into football, so it's. I think what Microsoft is trying to do is provide something for everybody. So if you're not into fantasy football or whatnot, hey, you don't have to mess with it. You can go on to other things, or But trying to wrap this up, the most important thing at the core of what an Xbox system originally was designed under is the fact that it can provide some great experiences, much like the PlayStation counterpart, the Nintendo counterpart. It must and always has to be about the games. Show me what the games are going to look like. Show me how the experience of how you play is going to change. Show me that this is actually the next generation. Because as of right now, this is a super media box. They unveiled, this is such and such. Maybe this was just intended to show you the TV functionalities of what the console is supposed to do. They gave us some cool specs, but by the time it comes out, PCs are gonna end up surpassing it. But for a console, it is pretty hefty on the specs. Same with the PlayStation 4. It's gonna be very interesting to see, but it's looking like both systems or both companies have different directions that they want to go in with the console. But at the base of it, it's a console for gaming. Microsoft must not lose sight of that. They must not lose sight of that, and they have to fix those nagging issues that people will pitch a shit about. The Steven Spielberg thing, the Halo, and all the content. I'm a big fan of content, so more the merrier. I don't care. I'm not, some of the Sony guys like, oh, this and that. If you're not getting the system, why the fuck are you celebrating it? Hell, I can go on record and say, although the Sony press conference was a bit boring to me, I said that, hey, they may be in good shape this time around. But most people aren't video game journalists like me, Nelson, Shinwar, Noop, On Your Knees, and the rest of the New Fighting Order staff. So I can't really expect you guys to be objective. But I guess Microsoft, this is your $599 US shot in the big toe moment. Everybody heckle Sony for $599 US. Ridge Racer. Now, TV, that's yours. You wear that, Microsoft. You wear that. But let's take a quick look at the little video. Alright. I do not own the copyrights. This solely belongs to Microsoft. It's just to show you what I saw. Now the system takes now more of a black and silver. They're like a George Jetson sophisticated, very sexy, sleek design, but bulky. Looks like a 1980s VCR, which you can literally brick somebody in the fucking head with. Oh, and just so you know, this Kinect 2.0 was actually supposed to be the original Kinect. The Kinect we got was a watered down version to kind of test the market to see if we were ready for it. Now this controller, I wonder how it's going to be better than what we're currently using. It looks good, and it looks like an MLG type controller, but it should be interesting. Forza, I don't think that was in-game. I think that was CG, but we'll see. Just that. There you have it. All-in-one entertainment system. Xbox motherfucking. This wasn't a rant. This is just, I'm semi-disappointed. I hope they lift and change some of their policies that they're pushing. Because again, the always online is a problem for me to use all the features. I'm going to have online. Don't get me wrong. I'm just concerned if I get deployed or I'm in a place where I don't have internet. The backwards compatibility thing, that hurt. Metal Gear Rising, in order for me to play it now, I gotta make sure I have my 360, or that's if I get it, and the Xbox One. Oh, Jesus. So this is actually the X cable box. X cable box, that's what it is. I'm not trying to get long-winded with this, but New Fighting Order, please let me know what you think. don't leave any fanboy comments or so, because I was respecting Sony, people with their preference. So let's make sure we're mature about this, because I am really disappointed. And I was even saying to Brother Newt, chances are I may go to the competition, or I'll just stick with PC gaming. Who knows? Because in essence, there's no difference between how PC games put the unlock codes and all this other stuff where in order to play it on another system and all that. I mean, but Microsoft, like I said in one other podcast, my Need for Speed Hot Pursuit that I bought in Iraq, I needed to have the activation online, whatever, through EA or whatnot. When I got to one of the camps out in Kuwait, I could not play it because I did not have online in the tent. I had to go to all the way to the MWR to get hooked up so that the game would start. It's not good, man. Let me tell you, it's not good. Era 37, Diablo, Sims. Did we not learn from... Please, New Fighting Order, let me know what you think. Taking a final look on the Xbox One. I don't have a problem with the system. It's just the policies that they're going to put into place for this. Because if they go through with this, and by E3, if they show... This has been Alexlexus of the New Fighting Order Show. Please subscribe to our channel. Shout outs to all my peoples. Right now my head hurts. It fucking hurts. Because I'm probably going to hold on to that 360 as long as it's being supported. So I'll see you next time on the New Fighting Order podcast show. Take another look at this thingy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What? Why? It's good and it's bad. Peace, guys.